Hi, my name is Reiss Tailor. I'm going to go through this news presentation. We're going to talk about the feedback that we got from our peers and our teachers, what we did to improve it. And I'm just going to go through this presentation and see the issues I came across and what we actually did to improve it as well. This actually wasn't our intentional, it wasn't our main idea for what we wanted to do for our opening sequence. What we wanted to do was actually get a more homemade video where we have a microphone falling on a white piece of paper along with the titles KRM News. We filmed the draft of this video, but we got feedback from our teachers and our peers that though it was a good idea, it wasn't professional enough. So we took that on board and we started to look at more professional news packages, and for example, the BBC and ITV. And this was heavily inspired of the ITV one. Um, but at the same time, it was with our own touch in terms of the music we put in terms of the actual imaging that we put in. It was quite artistic on all of our halves, actually.
What is the 696 rule? The 696 rule is a risk assessment form that requests London venues and artists what kind of music will be performed.
We're here in Shoreditch, one of the cultural capitals of the music scene in London. Now we're here
What happened was we weren't intending to film in Shoreditch. We actually wanted to film Mill Hill, in the Mill Hill Music Complex. But from feedback from our teachers, we found out that that wasn't the best idea to film. It was better to go to Shoreditch, though it would be a bit more time costly. It would be way more effective in terms of putting the idea across. Because in terms of the UK rap scene, which was what we were trying to put across, it's way more prominent in Shoreditch, not so prominent in Mill Hill Broadway.
to investigate the infamous 696 rule. We're here at Rough Trade.
This was also another reason why we went to Shoreditch, because we wanted to go to Rough Trade, which was a really famous music store. And it was amazing that we filmed there. The people were amazing. They were so nice. They let us film in without any no issues. We did a lot of interviews outside. One of the main issues that we got across actually was in terms of our equipment. We had an issue with our mic where it just stopped working. So on our first time, you can see the only footage that we got. We actually had to shoot 2 times. On our first shoot, the only footage that you'll see in this actual final presentation was the one where we can just speak over in post-production. Even before the shot you saw before when I'm walking towards the camera, I actually had to redo that post speak in sync with my video. The interviews you see will be in the reshoot, and I use a phone to record the sound for that, and I just cut it together. It was good advice from some teachers and some peers as well.
To investigate what fellow music fans and enthusiasts think of the 696 form.
Oh, by the way, just another add-on. This location was it was suggested by our teacher, so we took this upon our feedback, and we actually went and filmed there, which was a really good idea.
Reiss Tailor, KRM News.
Hi.
You're a music fan coming out of Rough Trade, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think
We found it was a really good location to film outside because it was a bit less quieter. Even though we had a phone, it was just a bit more peaceful in terms of when we were actually trying to speak. There's a riot going on poster over here. Pretty interesting, really good to do with the actual interview we're talking about as well. I'm gonna skip this interview because I haven't got that much time in terms of this. We wanted to do a lot of cuts in the interviews because our target audience were digital natives, and what we know from them is that they have short attention spans, meaning that if we just keep on speaking in a video, they're not going to be interested, just like what I'm doing right now. And anyway, So we found it was a better idea to put infographics. You see a lot more of that at the second, and cuts. You see a lot more of these cuts and infographics in the second interview that we do, the one I do with Mariam.
Same sort of prosecution in other, music genres.
The music industry is continuously booming with new artists and new upcoming styles of music. We sat outside the world-famous Premises Studios, where many well-known artists and
This was the second location, just around Shoreditch. It was like 20 minutes away from Rough Trade. It was a really famous studio. Went and filmed there. Also very nice people. We didn't get too much shots inside. We only got these shots, and we did the interview outside.
composers have come to record their music. We bumped into celebrity and music producer Mariam and asked her about her thoughts on this form.
A lot of up-and-coming rappers, they've got so much to show, and for them to just be shut down, like, it's not fair. Especially the police, like, they just judge you on, like, the way you look and the music that you put in. I mean, if it was any other artist, I don't think they'd get shut down. I feel like it's a lot to do with, like, a lot of prejudice and racism. That's what I think. That's what I think about it.
Do you think that the police has at least...
This was feedback from our teacher to put video of the police when we're talking about the police. This was an amazing idea. In fact, I think it was one of the best because it really puts across the ideas that we're trying to put across. Also, we're putting like violence in crowds, in concerts and everything like that, just to press upon what we're putting across.
Storytelling. The rappers have nothing to do with it. It's the audience. If they choose to interpret it that way, then that's their problem. I don't think that's their intention.
The cuts that we're doing were almost exactly from what the interview was going. This was good feedback from our teachers. Actually, this was we didn't actually do this in the beginning, but we were told to do this later on, and it was a really good idea because it gives another form of data and information coming to the audience, which is very important, especially for the target audience that we're coming across. People who really like a lot of data coming in, a lot of different information coming in from different sources. It was a really good aid, a really good visual aid. I'm just going to skip this interview because I'm really running out of time on this screen classifier. So.
This rule requires a fair amount of weeks to be performed in advance before a decision is made on whether the event is cancelled.
Due to this...
We got feedback from our teacher again, saying that we should put some examples of their funding and their money on. So we're thinking, what could we do? And we realized the way that these artists get most of the money is through Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, through monetization and advertisement, even though it's not a lot of money, because the main money is gigs, and that's what we're trying to argue, we're trying to put across and report about the lack of gigs and the gigs getting shut down. So we used this actual app what I'm using right now, Screen Classify, to put in videos of us scrolling through YouTube. That was Spotify, this is YouTube.
To distribute their content.
We studied the case of the infamous 6-7 down in the murky depths of South London.
This was our case study. This is what we're going to use. This was actually through tips from our students and our peers. They said that we should use one example, and the best example to use, the one that we could think of, was a rap group called 6-7. So Ryan talks a bit about 6-7, talks about who they are, what they do, and we could assume that a lot of these people, a lot of the people that we're targeting, they would definitely know 6-7 is one of the biggest UK rap groups in the world. It is a world-renowned group. Everyone knows them, which is why we put them down.
ASAP, LD, Dimsy, Monkey, SJ, and...
We would love to know what you think.
We talk about our website at the end. This was good feedback. Our website is really similar to Vice News, and really simple, less is more, and it was really interesting what we did. I am going to have to go now because I'm actually running out of time, like 10 seconds left, so goodbye.